There is a particular kind of disappointment that comes from the prettiest mango in the bin, and once you have been fooled by it, you do not forget the taste. You chose it on purpose. You passed over a dozen others to take the reddest one, the one with the deep blush across its shoulder, because surely the bright one is the sweet one. You carried it home and set it in the bowl where the light could find it, proud of it. And then a few days on, you took your knife to it, and the flesh came away pale near the pit and stringy like wet thread, and when you touched it to your tongue, it was sour and green tasting. My little ones made the face that children make and would not have another bite. By the middle of the week, the rest of the bowl had gone soft and brown and weeping at the bottom, and a good $1 went out to the slop bucket after it. You start to feel like the fruit was made to fool you, like the prettiest one in the pile was a trap set for you. And I will tell you plainly, it was. The bright red one in the English store is stacked up front where your eye lands first, because red sells, not because red is sweet. The two have almost nothing to do with one another, and the people who stack the bin know it. The sweet one, the one I would carry home over all of them, is the homely, wrinkled yellow one shoved off to the side that nobody reaches for, and you do not need a bit of trickery to find it. You need your nose and your 2 hands, the same nose and hands your grandmother had, long before there was a sticker on a single thing in this world. I am Eliza. I keep a plain house, a kitchen, and a garden, a root cellar I am proud of, and a hen house out back the children have decided is theirs. And I do it with 2 little ones underfoot most of the day, one just big enough to carry an egg without dropping it, and one still small enough to pull at my apron while I work. Most of what I know about choosing food I did not learn from any book, because there were no books for it. I learned it from my mother, standing at her elbow, and from her mother before that, and from the old women in our district who have buried more gardens than I have planted. That is the whole of my schooling in this, and it has never once failed me. Now I will be honest with you about the mango itself, because honesty is the only thing I am really offering here, and I am not even charging for that. A mango is not ours. It does not grow in plain country. It does not grow anywhere a frost can reach, and frost reaches us every year. I have never had a mango tree, nor has my mother. It comes to us the way it comes to you, on a truck, from somewhere warm and far off I will likely never lay eyes on. Set out at the bulk store in a great cardboard flat, so I will not pretend I grew it. I did not. But choosing a sweet one out of that flat is no different from choosing a sweet muskmelon off my own vine in August, and that I have done 10,000 times, and that my mother taught me before I was tall enough to see over the market table. The fruit is a stranger to me. The choosing is old as the hills. So let me take apart the lie first, because it is the lie that costs you, and once it is gone, the rest comes easy. The lie is this, that the redder the mango, the sweeter it must be. And here is why it fails you. That color is not ripeness. It is only the kind of mango it is. The big red ones piled highest in most English stores are very nearly all one sort. A mango they call the Tommy Atkins. And I have no quarrel with the name, only with what people expect of it. That mango was bred, chosen on purpose the way you would breed a cow for milk or a hen for laying, to keep a long while on a shelf, to ride 1,000 miles without bruising, and to shrug off the rots that take softer fruit. Every one of those is a fine thing for the man shipping it. Not one of them is sweetness. They never bred the sweetness in, because sweetness does not survive the truck. And the truck is what they cared about. So you get a hard, handsome, ruby red fruit that holds up beautiful and tastes of almost nothing, with the thread running through it like an old green bean. And meanwhile, off to the side, passed over by everybody, sits the sweetest mango in the whole store. A little one, no bigger than my hand, gold and yellow and going wrinkled, looking for all the world like it has gone over. The honey mango, some call it, it has not gone over. That wrinkle is the sugar showing through. And there are green ones too, big ones that stay green even when they are dead ripe and dripping. So the person who throws back every green mango, thinking it cannot be ready, is throwing back good fruit by the armload. I am not telling you your eyes are no use. I am telling you they go last. The color of a thing can tell you what kind it is, but it cannot tell you when to eat it, and the day you stop letting it try is the day you stop bringing home sour fruit. I would rather say that to you plain and have you trust me at my table than hand you the pretty red one and let you find out alone. So here's the first thing my hands do, before my eyes get a vote at all. I pick the fruit up. And then I pick up another near the same size, one in each hand, and I simply feel which is heavier. That is the whole of it. A good mango sits heavy in the hand, like it is full of itself, because it is, full of juice and soft sweet flesh come to its weight. A poor one feels light for how big it looks, and a light one has gone one of two ways. Either it has dried out and turned woody inside, or it was always more stone than fruit. A big pit in a thin coat. My mother did this with melons her whole life. I can see her yet, a muskmelon in each hand at the bulk store, weighing one against the other like a pair of scales, before she would so much as glance at the price. Weigh it before you trust it, she would say. The heavy one is the honest one. I will tell you where this one stops, though, because it does stop. Weight alone cannot tell you ripe from unripe, only juicy from spent. A hard green mango can be heavy too. So the heft gets you started, it does not get you home. The next thing is the give, and this is where most folks go wrong, not because they do not know to press the fruit, but because they press it the way the English press everything, with one hard thumb right in the middle, like they are trying to catch it doing something. Do not do that. A mango ripens by turning its own hard starch into sugar, the same quiet trick a banana does on your counter, and as it does, the flesh softens all the way through. So you want to feel that softness, gentle all over, not dig a hole in it. I take the whole fruit into my whole hand and close my fingers around it soft, the way you would cup a chick, and feel for a little give. A ripe one yields just a touch, like the heel of fresh bread, like a peach you would be glad to bite into. Hard as a stone means it is not ready. A few days yet, and if it goes soft and wet under the lightest touch, that one has gone the other way, too far, and is no good to you. My mother said it best, the way she said most things. Press it like you are testing a loaf, she told me, not poking it like the English poke everything in the store. And there is a kindness in that beyond your own fruit, for when you drive your thumb into a mango and set it back, you have bruised it, and in 2 days that bruise is a soft brown rot, and the next mother who picks it up has had her fruit spoiled before she got it home. So press soft for her sake as much as your own. And hear me on this part, because people get it backward. A rock-hard mango is not a bad mango. It is only an early one. Bring it home and let it finish, and I will tell you how directly. A hard fruit is one you caught in time, and that is a different thing altogether from a spoiled one. And while we are speaking of saving, let me put the plain numbers to it, because this is where it adds up. A whole ripe mango, chosen right, costs about $1, often 2 of them for $2, and cheaper yet. By the case if you go where the warm country families do their shopping. Now walk past the cut fruit cooler and look at the little plastic tubs of mango already cubed. A few ounces, a couple of bites, really, and they want $4 or $5 for it. That is the same fruit. You're paying many times over for somebody else to do 2 minutes of cutting you could do at your own board while the children watch. The English call that convenience. I call it paying a stranger to use a knife you already own. And every sour one you bring home by guessing is $1 straight in the bin, plus a fight at the table with 2 little ones who will eat sweet fruit all day long and will not touch a sour bite, and I cannot say I blame them. Now we come to the top of the fruit, the stem end where it was joined to the tree, and this is a quiet little place that tells on the whole mango if you know to look. 2 things up there. First, the shoulders, those rounded cheeks that sit up on either side of the stem. On a good fruit, they are full and plump and pushed out round, because the fruit filled itself up before it was picked. On a poor one, taken too green and too early, those shoulders are flat, or even sunken a little, hollow looking. A fruit that never filled its shoulders never had the time to make its sugar, and no amount of sitting on your sill will give back what it missed on the tree. The second thing the old women in our district taught me, and most people would call it a blemish, and put the fruit down. It is a little weeping of sap right around the stem, leaving small dark freckles or a faint patch up by the crown. That is not damage. That is a fruit that ripened proper and ran a little sweet sap at the top. The old women always turned a fruit stem up first, before anything else. The top of a thing tells on it before the rest does, they would say, and they were right. But here is where you must be careful, and I will not skip it, because the honest part is the part that matters. There is a world of difference between those sap freckles and real rot. A few small dark specks near the crown, good. A big soft black patch that gives wet and sunken under your finger, skin gone slack all over with a sharp smell like turpentine coming off it. That is a fruit going to rot, and you leave it lie. Freckle at the stem, yes. Black and soft and weeping, no. And now I will give you the last one, the one that matters most, the one that, if you only ever remember a single thing I have said, is the thing to keep. It is your nose. It is the oldest test there is, older than money, older than markets, the very first way a person ever knew good food from bad. And we have very near let it go. Here is what you do, and do it slow. Turn the mango stem end up. If it has come out of a cold case, hold it a moment first. Cup it in your warm hand while you would say a short grace, because cold locks of fruit smell up tight, and a fine mango will seem to have no scent at all straight out of the chill. Warm it a breath. Then bring that stem end to your nose and draw in deep right where it was joined. A ripe mango will give you back a smell you will not mistake once you have met it. Sweet and full and fruity, almost like honey, with something green and resinous under it, like pine sap warmed in the sun. It fairly blooms up at you. When you smell that, you are done. That fruit is ripe through, and you can carry it home and cut it tonight. If you breathe in and get nothing, no smell at all, that fruit is simply not ready. It is a sill fruit, a wait fruit, not a tonight fruit, and that is no trouble. You only need patience with it. But if you breathe in and get something sour, something sharp, a whiff like vinegar or like spirits, like the smell off a crock that has turned, set it down and walk on. That one has gone past sweet and into ferment. No sill will fix it. No patience will save it. It is finished. My mother taught me this at the melon vine before she ever taught me at any market. Down on her knees, with a musk melon she would not yet cut, pressing her thumb soft to the blossom end, bending her face down to it and breathing in with her eyes shut. Your nose knows, she would say, before your eyes ever will. I have stood in a bright English store with 100 fruit in front of me, every one of them shouting its color, and I have shut my eyes the way she did, and let my nose choose, and it has not once led me wrong. Color shouts. The nose tells the truth. Learn to trust the quiet one. After that, a few small things, quick ones to round out the rest. When you bring home a hard one, do not fret over it. Set it on the windowsill, out of the cold, let the warm room do its work, and in a few days it will come ripe on its own. My grandmother kept a whole row of fruit ripening along her south window, a little parade of it catching the morning, and she always had one just ready when she wanted it. If you're in more of a hurry than that, say it is your turn to host the gathering, and you want the fruit sweet by Sunday, put the mango in a paper sack and tuck an apple in beside it, and roll the top shut. Fruit breathes out a kind of ripening air as it goes, and the sack holds it close, and the apple gives off plenty of its own, and that will hurry a stubborn mango along by a day or two. For those little gold honey mangoes I told you about, the sweet ones nobody wants. rid them by their wrinkles. A light crinkling across that gold skin is not age and not spoil. It is ripeness, the sugar drawing the skin in tight. Folks walk right past the best fruit in the store thinking it has gone off, when it is just then coming into its own. And when you have a good one open, do not waste a scrap. The two fat cheeks cut clean off either side of that flat pit, and whatever. The children do not eat fresh that day. You cut into cubes and lay on a tray, and freeze, and it keeps for months for the dead of winter when there is not a decent fruit to be had for any money. A goodbye stretches. Today's sweetness for the little ones, the rest put by, nothing in the bin. And that is really the whole of it. Heavy in the hand, soft to the gentle press, full in the shoulder, sweet at the nose, and your eyes kept for last, where they belong. 4 plain things, no money, no trick, nothing bought. It puzzles me sometimes that this ever had to be taught to anyone at all, that it could slip so far out of a household that folks now choose their food by the brightest paint on it, like a child reaching for the shiniest thing. But I think I understand how it happened. Somewhere along the way, people learned to shop with their eyes only, to trust the label, the price, the man who stacked the bin to have put the good ones in front. And trusting all of that, they quietly set down the nose and the hands their grandmothers used and never picked them up again. The knowing did not die. It was only put down. And a thing you put down long enough, your children never see you holding. And so they never learn there was anything there to hold. I will leave you with one small thing that still makes me smile. In my mother's kitchen, growing up, the word mango did not mean this fruit at all. A mango to us was a green pepper, the bell kind, that you hollowed out and stuffed and pickled and set on the table when it was your week to have the church to your house. Stuffed mangoes, we called them, and not a one of them ever saw a warm country in its life. I was near grown before I understood that out in the English world the same word meant a sweet thing off a tree somewhere I will never go. 2 different things, one old word, and both of them, in their way, learned at a mother's elbow. My mother chose her fruit this way, and her mother before her, long before any of us would ever see the place this one comes from. I only do what they did, and now it is yours to do too.